Down at our sides.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Look
And
here
then one
real
right
quick. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And then one right here. Look here. Ready? 1, 2. Thank you. All right, Andrew, want to ask the first question?
Case.
All right, before we get started, if you don't mind, yeah, on to introduction, sir.
Okay.
Starting with you, we'll go through, and then each of you go around and ask 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll have follow-ups.
Major General Reginald.
Did I have you just speak into the mic?
Nope.
And then just pass it down.
Yeah. Major General Reginald Neal, U.S. Army Pacific.
Hey, good morning, half a day. Rear Admiral Greg Huffman, Joint Region Marianas.
Governor Palacios, CNMI.
Good morning, half a day. Mark Hashimoto, Major General, United States Marine Corps, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command.
Morning, half a day. Brigadier General Frenchy Furrow, Guam Air National Guard.
Okay, so can we just start off with maybe what are we doing here today, or what was the last meeting about?
This is the latest in a series of quarterly stakeholder meetings that we've been having for several years. And the purpose of it is to make sure that the Department of Defense and our partners with the CNMI understand what we're doing across a wide variety of functional areas. And to me, what this represents is, as I mentioned today to the governor, this is about mutual respect, where we meet as equal partners, making sure that we're aligned as to the details of all the activities that are coming up. Some are in the short term, some are in the medium term, and some are in the long term. And the last and most important thing, I think, is making sure that we continue the momentum for all of these projects.
Can you tell us some of the highlights of the last meeting that we had?
I would say that the fact that we opened up and most of the time was spent on the concerns of the CNMI, and that led us right into their number one agenda item, and that was an industry day, to making sure how the people of the CNMI, the businesses here, can find their way into some of the advantages that come with large-scale military projects. So that can be through the federal acquisition process, or it could be jobs that are coming up as a result of our activities.
Obviously, this is the second of a series of stakeholder meeting and an executive briefing meeting that I've attended, and in presence in our meetings are also the mayors of the 3 municipalities, the presiding officer of the legislature, a member of the legislature, so that we try our best to get everybody involved in the discussions so that we can maximize benefits the Commonwealth can have, and also maximize the information and awareness that we would have as a community on the activities of the Department of Defense in our communities.
Also, some very important participants in this were representatives of the Office of the Secretary of Defense from Washington, D.C. So we want to make sure that not only is it here what's going on the ground, but our partners back in Hawaii and in the continental United States were also part of this, to really show the importance of the CNMI and the contributions that are made to national security.
This is for the entire group, but was there any discussion regarding the Tinian Divert Airfield in today's stakeholder meeting?
Oh, absolutely. Not only in Tinian Divert Airfield in terms of what the updates are for the progress there, but also Air Force activity in the rehabilitation of the North Field. So that was a big part of today's, along with other large-scale projects that we have on Tinian, an update on the environmental impact statement for the combined joint military training there on Tinian, as well as the development of the area development plan for the Tinian port.
Are you able to discuss some highlights as to what the developments have been in regards to the Tinian Airfield project?
Certainly the construction continues apace, and when it comes to North Field, The equipment's been delivered, and I think within the next few months they're going to get started on that. And so basically it's like I mentioned, progress, momentum. So we've been talking about this, and we're moving into the execution phase for those projects.
And what are some ways that the local community can benefit through the development of Tinian as a divert airfield? You mentioned that there were some discussion of the local community industries benefiting. What are some potential ways?
Through contracting services, obviously, and then also through the job fairs that Black Micro has held.
Gov, is there discussion about building the local workforce capacity to support the projects?
Yes, obviously that's going to be an ongoing process. We're going to have to lean towards our Northern Marianas College, our NM Tech, and our labor department, as well as other commerce also, so that we also have to do our part in working in tandem with DOD and the contractors, the large contractors that are going to be doing these contracts to ensure that we fully participate. I can say this, and it's unfortunate that we haven't really done our efforts in the past 2 years to get prepared for this. And I know that Black Micro, who's now the prime contractor in the divert airfield, has made efforts to try to get our labor force involved and also businesses involved. And that's an ongoing effort that we need to constantly stay on top of to make sure that our community also have the spin-off benefits from these projects.
Also, any updates on different ships that might come into, R&R?
No, that is a great question. And in fact, I was telling the governor the other day that I was engaging with the commanders at the 7th Fleet and at the Pacific Fleet to work on encouraging more opportunities to bring ships here to Saipan and throughout the region. It's a great benefit for the sailors. Everyone that I've talked to really enjoys coming and enjoying some time off here in Saipan, and I know it's going to be a great opportunity for the people here to host ships when they come into the port. So we are continuing to work that, and we look forward to an opportunity to bring more ships into the area, along with a number of other exercises that are going to go on throughout the region in the next several months. We're going to have a big exercise that the Air Force is operating next month. And there'll be a substantial number of Air Force airmen and aircraft operating here throughout the region. And we're going to have a really large exercise in the June timeframe called Valiant Shield, and that's one of our major DoD exercises through the region. That will bring a substantial number of service members and aircraft here to the islands, and a great opportunity for them to just enjoy the rich culture and the people and the hospitality here, as well as getting a chance to do some really great training.
The Valiant Shield airmen are going to be here for R&R, or are they going to be here for...
So they'll be throughout the entire region, but some will be here mostly for operations, but they're not working 24/7. So they'll get a little bit of chance to take a break and enjoy the culture here and all the great benefits and hospitality here in the CNMI.
On the port visit that you were, it is my understanding that there will be one visit, at least one visit this month.
And is anyone able to share the time frame of that?
It's probably going to be within a week or two. It's in that time frame.
And innovative readiness training, is that coming up this year, right?
Yes, in June. So we got a brief on that, and we just had a team here last week to conduct some of the planning and look for it to be bigger and better than last year. It's going to be a different unit than the one that came last year, but I told them I was grateful that of all the places they could have gone, that they're going to do it in consecutive years in the CNMI, and it'll be on 3 islands.
I just have one. I just wanted to ask what are the plans in terms of military tourism? Was that discussed during the stakeholder meeting?
Well, those are the ongoing military visits, like the admiral alluded to, port visits by vessels, military vessels that are in the area, as well as all the other different exercises that that are going to be occurring. Um, one of the issues that we need to continue to work on is the air connectivity for military tourism from, for example, Guam to the CNMI. And, it's very difficult. The reality of life is it's very difficult at this point to expect a family of four, with military family, to come from Guam to Saipan at $500, $600 per person round trip. So those are things that we need to continue to work on, is the cost and the air connectivity.
What are we doing in terms of addressing that air
Well,
connectivity?
we need to, one, have to talk to United to lower their price. Secondly, look for another airline to enter the market also. Maybe that'll help. Okay.
So can I just ask one question? How do you feel about the upcoming exercises coming this year?
I look forward to them, and I'm glad that I'm really starting to really engage in this exercise, and I thank all our friends, the DoD leadership, for continuing to give us the information that we need to, and these are going to be big, and we want to try also to include the island of Rhoda in the mix and visits of these exercises.
Fantastic. Do you guys have any last questions? All right. Do any of you have any closing remarks?
Thank you again, and I want to thank our four leaders from the Department of Defense who are here today, and the team who were able to give us a very brisk briefing of the activities that are ongoing in the Commonwealth from the Department of Defense. Thank you.
Gentlemen, media, thank you so much. This concludes our conference.
Okay.
Thank you.